Hey guys, welcome back to the layout once again. I've got a little bit of work done. I know last time wasn't really an update, more of just a question, and I was asking whether or not I should install a Valence. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and started working on that. I'm not yet done, but I figured I would do an update now, just showing you what I have gotten done, and kind of updating you on where I am, as I guess that is in the definition of an update. And anyway, hopefully this weekend I will get the rest of it done, as well as some other things, and I'll have another update very soon. But just heading into the weekend, here is what I've done so far. So what I've done here is the lights before were kind of a few inches out, so what I did is align the bottom edge of the valance that you see here with the edge of the benchwork here, so that it doesn't creep at all into the aisleway or make the room feel smaller in any way. So I think it looks really good in my opinion. So here it is coming down this way. The lights are super bright, and of course realize that that paint's going away. Originally I put the primer only about a foot up, so forget about that. There's not going to be any awkward line or weird colors. It's going to be sky all the way up to the ceiling, if you can imagine that. So hopefully we'll get that done soon. And if we turn around here, get a better look of it down at this corner, so you can see how it fits on the ceiling there, works very nicely with the room and all that. So we'll walk around and take a look at that. But another thing that I did in preparation for that is extend the height of the backdrop here. So the original height, you can actually see where that 2x4 piece is. That runs all the way through here. So the top of the backdrop was pretty short over here, just about. Actually, yeah, that was all it was there. So that ran all the way down the length here. So I brought that up basically to the ceiling, and then I tied this whole peninsula into the ceiling as well, which just makes it generally structurally sturdier. So I should have done that in the first place, but I was being kind of conservative and made the peninsula not that high. Why, I don't remember, but I had my reasons. Anyway, so walking down this way, you can see again more of the valance. Also keep in mind too that I'm not done even putting the valance in yet, so once I get the actual pieces in place, I'll go back in. We have to seal, you can see some light coming through, so we'll go in and seal that, but we'll probably get to that when we paint the valance. It is not yet painted, it's just raw. And there are a few places too, like on these joints, where I need to actually bring these together with a tie piece across the back, but so far I think it's looking good. So anyway, and all I've gotten so far is up around this bend right here. So these are the lights that I'm using right here. These are, as I mentioned last time, these are about 4 feet long T5 LED tubes. They're really nice. They have a nice look to them, but this metal backing just snaps into some clips that I've been mounting on the underside here. So if we take a look up here, you can see, well, let's see here. You can't really see, but right on that mounting block where I have the valance mounted is a little clip, and the tube light fits into there. So anyway, I have enough lights to go around the whole layout, just haven't got them in yet. I'm doing that as I go along with the fascia. And what we're going to do, right now we have the 2 power cords running down. Obviously not a permanent fix, I'm just doing that to test out the lighting. We will get those all on one circuit, so I'll have to look into adding another outlet. So I'll get back to you when we figure that out. But anyway, I think it's looking pretty good. And here's the other side of the peninsula with the backdrop extended, which I think does a lot for the scene down here. I was going to extend it somewhat anyway, because you can see what I want here for these rock cuts is, rather than just have 2 tiers, I think we're going to have 3, as that is much more Crawford Hill-esque. So the scenery itself will go higher as well, and that'll really extend the height of the scene and make it feel more vast. So that is that. Now the other thing that I've been working on is over here. I have been installing the last bit of Subroadbed for the main line. So this is the piece right through the wall there. On the other side is the upper staging yard. So this is the main line coming out of upper staging. It curves over this way. And the cool thing about this scene here is we're actually not going to have that backdrop is not going to extend all the way across, separating the scene. So if you're standing here, you'll be able to see the scenery right out in front here with the two main lines down below, as well as the two tracks which will be up above. So it'll be at two different heights here, but both sweeping through some pretty cool rock cuts. So I think that'll be a cool scene. You know, usually when I'm thinking about a layout, I don't want the same train to pass through a scene more than once, just for the sake of realism. But in this instance, I don't really care because it's Crawford Hill, it's mountain railroading, and the plausibility of a train being visible in one spot is quite high. In fact, there are many places on Crawford Hill where that does happen, so I'm not too worried about it. And even if we weren't modeling Crawford Hill or some random place, I mean, who cares? It's a model train layout, so I think this will be a really cool scene. Anyway, if we walk to the other side now, I will show you the approach up. Excuse me. So anyway, before we had the Subroadbed just kind of end up here, and right about in this section where you see that Sharpie marked there is the summit of the hill. And if you step back, and this is hard to see because I'm using an iPhone, which does not pick up distances very well, but there's kind of a vertical curve, or not kind of, there certainly is. Oops, sorry. And it looks really cool. So if you get at eye level here, you can see the tracks, they kind of curve off here from this curved turnout, and then they go up, but then there's a clear peak or a summit, which is the highest point of the layout. And if you're standing here on the end of the peninsula, it'll be really cool because you can actually see the train sort of start to appear in vision, and then it'll drop down the grade right towards you, especially if you're kind of down this way. So that'll be a really cool scene as well. But as I was talking about, the Subroadbed here continues this way, and this big open scene that I was talking about a second ago is going to look really cool from this side as well, because as you can see, this is just a huge S-curve coming out of the wall there. And then, as I mentioned, that rock cut will at least sort of come up to the backdrop here from this side as well, and that will reveal then the big horseshoe curve down on the other side. So this will be a really cool scene. I mean, they all will, of course, but this one's going to be awesome. So yeah, that is all I have for this time, guys, but the weekend has only begun, and I will start to get to work on finishing the rest of the lighting as well as the valance, and then installing the last of the upper main line as well. Still got a couple things to finish back in staging regarding bench work, and then I can install the actual staging yards themselves. But anyway, one step at a time, and yeah, I'll get to work on that this weekend, and there will be plenty more to show, obviously, as we move forward. So again, thank you so much for your input on the last video, and I will be back very soon with more to update you on. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.